Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Why You Should Pull Furina video. And in this video, I'll basically try to promote Furina's upcoming banner by, telling you why you should pull for her and also give you a small little damage showcase. So grab some snacks, sit back and watch me ramble about the greatest X icon, Furina. But now, why should we pull for Furina and why do I like her so much? Well, the short answer is that she's pretty amazing, but the long answer is that she's an extremely useful and all-around OP unit to have, because the kit is not only super simple and straightforward to understand, but she's also very fun to play. I mean, I've gotten countless 5 stars and I usually drop them after playing them for a while, but I still, even after months from her release, I constantly use Furina, and it's probably because she can be used for pretty much everything. Exploration, farming, abyss, you name it, she can do it. Another reason why I like Furina so much is because of her E skill, because when you press this thing, she summons 3 of her small bodyguards and they're actually kinda goated. Now at first glance they might look super cute and innocent, but don't be fooled. These guys are actually packing heat. Now to be honest, you'll probably never really notice their damage, but I'm telling you, it adds up very quickly over time. And it's also kind of funny to watch your little minions just casually demolish mobs for existing. And now speaking of her skill, another great thing about Furina is that she's one of the few characters that has an emergency heal button, where if you do her charge tag, she'll turn into a mini healing station. Now to be honest, if you're using Furina correctly, you'll never need to use this feature, but it can still be kind of useful if you're too lazy to teleport to a statue of the 7. And if you're someone who plays a lot of co-op, this can be a very handy thing to have, because when in a healer mode, she heals not 1 or 2 characters, but everyone that's on field, which will be super useful if you're doing a hard weekly boss, or even to avoid getting kicked after you sucked everyone's HP away. Also, to farm for Furina's artifacts, you're most likely going to be doing the Golden Troop domain, which is by far one of the best ones in the game. Not only is that set perfect for every single skill-focused character in the game, but doing this domain will also give you the merit juice it drops that you can still use on basically any of your DPSs, because the 4-piece set bonus actually gives you 36% crit rate for free, making it very universal. But if for some reason you don't want to farm the greatest artifact domain of all time, you could just give her a mix of tenacity, heart of death, or even like the emblem set until you get a good ER to crit ratio, and she's gonna do alright. But please, I'm telling you, don't do that. Go farm the Fontaine domain and you'll feel like a brand new person. Also, by now you probably know that Xingqiu and Yelan are 2 of the most used characters in the game, because they have great synergy with a lot of different characters, and Furina works just like them. And getting her would more or less mean that you have 3 Xingqius, and who wouldn't like having multiple copies of a very versatile support. And as much as it hurts me to say this, I kind of feel like Furina is an overall upgrade compared to Yelan when it comes to value for an account, because she feels much better. I mean, not only does she enable one of the most useful artifact sets on everyone with just a skill, but she is by far one of the most versatile characters in the game, because she can fit like a glove in basically every single team, as long as you have a healer. And as if all of this wasn't enough, she also has this one particular ability which every single amazing Hydro unit has: damage increase. So if you don't know, whenever your HP increases or decreases after you've done Furina's burst, she'll amplify your damage just like Mona and Yelan. Now she doesn't literally double your damage or anything, but this is a very useful ability to have, and you can actually see how big of a buff you have based on how large this border is. But still, with all that being said, Yelan is best mother and Furina can zoom across the place, so who's really winning here? Also, something that I've noticed after playing Genshin for almost 4 years is that support characters are usually more useful than DPS units, mainly because unlike DPSs, they can be used with a wider range of units and team comps, and Furina is no different. I mean, take it from someone who basically has every single character in the game. I pretty much still frequently use Furina, and I feel like she's still gonna remain very relevant in the meta even after Natlan comes out. Now another great thing about Furina is that her constellations are amazing. Her C1 will increase the damage buff limit, which will make your characters even more busted and also help with basically everything. And as if that wasn't enough, her C2 increases her HP and also makes it much easier to get the full damage amplification buff. She's honestly one of those rare characters that does not have a single bad constellation. But with that being said, you don't need them. Her C1 or C2 might look good, but if you're doing proper rotations, you won't even think of them. She's perfectly fine at C0, and I can assure you that there's nothing good ratios or proper rotations can solve. Furina also has this very weird ability where she can literally become Jesus and somehow just walk on water. And unlike Kokomi's burst that only lasts for a few seconds, she can somehow do this infinitely. So forget about ice bridging to Inazuma and just flex on your friends by pulling out your Furina. By the way, you will take fall damage if you land on water, and yes, I had to learn that the hard way. Also, when you reach level 10 friendship with her, you'll get this super unique name card that can be used to make your profile look cool or cute with the newly added profile pictures. And now speaking of new things in Genshin, you might have noticed a recent trend where the signature weapons of certain characters looks way too good on them, making the other weapons look kinda bad. But this doesn't really happen with Furina. Now sure, her weapon looks cool and all, but to be completely honest, you don't need it, because she has plenty of other 5-star options. seconds. And if you've been playing Genshin for a while, you could just give her the Festering Desire and be Gucci. But if you're a newer player, don't worry, because I have some good news for you. Because you can get this one particular weapon that is completely free, which makes building Furina super convenient. A goofy looking pipe sword. Not only does this weapon have a ER main stat, but it can also increase your crit rate by up to 16% for free. Now to get this weapon, you will have to do the most boring activity in the game, which is fishing. But hey, I guess it's kind of worth it, because it also gives even more ER for 5 seconds. Wait, 5 seconds? That's it? Bro, what even is this dumbass gimmick? Like, the only thing lasting 5 seconds is me when Navia shows up. But now, jokes aside, let me quickly show you something you're here for. Furina's damage and build. My Furina is level 90 and she has around 34,000 HP. For the weapon, she's on the Festering Desire. For the artifact, she's obviously using the 4-piece Golden Troop set. And these are my individual pieces real quick. Now she's obviously as Constellation 0 and the talents are at 188. So you know what? Let's look at the final ratios now. She has around 70 crit rate, 180 crit damage and also 180 R. So you know what? Let's go to Masadori and check our damage real quick. So yeah, we just gotta do this and let's see. Alright, 70,000. Dude, that's actually not that bad. Okay, good damage, good damage. So yeah, look at that. 18,000, 10,000. Not bad. Pretty good damage. Pretty decent damage. Now, that was cool and all, but let me put you guys onto game. Because you need to try this team that I call the Yabo Classic, which is unironically one of the comfiest and the strongest ones on my account. And I actually also use this to beat the current Abyss, which is said to be one of the hardest ones yet. But now let's also go with 7 major reasons why you should not pull for Furina. I mean, you probably will, but I have come up with some points to help you save those PP gems. So first off, let's start with the most obvious reason, Natlan. Because if you played Genshin for a while, you already know that the regional updates are some of the best ones we get. And Natlan is going to be no different. Not only will we get a beautiful region based on Latin America, but we'll also see tons of brand new characters, including the Pyro Archon, who might be the best one yet. And on top of that, we're also getting a brand new Dendro 5-star called Emily next patch. And you already know that she's going to be broken. Another big reason to skip Furina that I don't see anyone talking about is the fact that she is not like the other Archons and can be bothersome to use. You see, Furina actually needs 2 party slots to work properly, because using her E skill reduces the HP of all of your party members till 50%, meaning that you'll need to have good healers like Kokomi or Jean in your party. I mean, you could also just raw dog the Abyss without a healer if you're feeling brave enough, but bro, please don't do that. Also, if you're like me and just like to mess around in the overworld, this can be kind of annoying because your characters are basically going to be at 50% HP forever, and this may lead to irritating situations here and there. But to be completely honest, this thing isn't that big of a deal breaker because you can just use the NRE, right? Or even become the bane of the Statue of Seven's existence to heal there again and again. No, I did say that she's not like the other Archons, but that was actually a lie because she does have this one very unique quality that every Archon shares. Can you guess what that is? Well, if you said having annoying ass voice lines, you'd be correct, because when you go AFK, best believe Furina is gonna make fun of you. And this can also lead to some moments like these. And when I came back, I actually saw her eating my cookie like, come on, man. But anyways, boys, the plan. Fuck you! Fuck you! Shut up, Furina! Now, speaking of annoying stuff, let's also talk about a very painful thing that you'll have to do while building her, and it's none other than a boss. Not only does this guy have like 2 billion HP, but he also summons more minions than crew. Now, I don't know who asked for tougher bosses, but I wish their pillow stays warm on both sides. And as if all of this wasn't enough, building an OP Furina takes a very long time, because you need to ensure that she has a good balance of energy recharge and crit, which can be very hard to get. And not to mention the fact that you can't just use your already good Xingqiu artifacts on her, because you'll need to farm a brand new set. And to make things even worse, if you're not one of the 38% of the players who are playing during version 1.1, you won't have this Relic of a Sword, which is a best free-to-play option, meaning that you'll have to fish for that pipe sword instead. Now, you could just simply avoid all of that by pulling for her weapon, but dude, that banner is straight dookie cheeks, bro. Now, obviously, Furina's weapon is goated on her, but this other bow kind of fucking sucks. Not only is the main stat HP percent, but the entire passive is way too specific for Sigewinne. I mean, it does give you 28% crit rate for burst, so you could do like a downer showcase for like 500 damage. But bro, don't even think about this banner unless you have like 200 wishes saved up. But now for real though, Furina might be a very OP character, but I still think that she's not a must pull by any means. Because if you're not planning on using your Xingqiu, or if you already have these other Hydra units decently built, there's no real need for you to get her. In my opinion, you should only pull for her if you're in need of a cheat code for your game, if you just like Furina's personality, gameplay, or her as a character. And if you pull for these reasons, you won't regret getting her. Also, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe because only like 7% of my viewers are actually subbed to the channel. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you soon.